Hey guys, I'm Richard Beach from sonicstate.com/amped, that's Sonic State's guitar channel. And today I've got the world exclusive first look at this lovely Boss pedal in front of me, the Multi Overtone, the MO-2. It's a pretty cool pedal actually. There's 3 new pedals by Boss, and from playing with them for a little while, I'd probably say this is my favourite out of the 3 of them, so I'm quite excited to do this one. It is what it says on the tin really, a Multi Overtone pedal. It allows you to add overtones and harmonies on top of what you're already playing, and blend them and detune them and do certain things like that. So what I'll do first then is just give you a little bit of a sort of a taster of how it sounds. There's 3 settings, I'm on the 3rd one at the moment, which is the sort of lower overtones. So the higher the setting, the lower the overtones. Right, so yeah, what you can hear there is, I mean, it sort of sounds like an octave pedal. You can hear the octave below. It does sound like that, but that isn't actually, it doesn't work in the same way as an octave pedal, just to confuse me and to make things harder for me to explain. Thanks, Boss. Thanks to their R&D department for that. What it does is it takes the signal that's coming in, splits into different strings, and basically does a number of different things to it. So increasing the sort of a certain interval from the pitch of the note every time. It does it in such a way that when you play, like for example, if you're playing on a harmonizer pedal, then you have to set the key that you're playing in, otherwise sometimes you'll go out of key, what you're playing will sound out of key. But this doesn't do that. So it's much more about boosting the frequencies of certain overtones rather than actually adding a precise interval on top, such as a 3rd or a 5th or something like that. So like I said, there's 3 settings. What I'll do now is go through each of them in step and give you a little taster of what those 3 sound like. I was playing distorted there, but I'm actually going to go clean for this. Right, so like I said, 3 settings. I got this on setting 1, which should add them sort of more higher overtones onto my sound. And for this, I've got the balance at sort of noon. So this is basically just the balance of my direct sound against the effect, so basically the mix. I'm going to have my tone at noon as well. I'm taking the detune setting right down to basically having no effect whatsoever, so that I can bring it in and you can actually hear what that does. And then well, like I said, I'm on setting 1, so this last knob here is either 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so it's important to point out that this does work on chords as well, so I'm actually going to play chords for you now. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to bring the detune in a little bit more. That sounds a little bit like a 12-string actually, that sound to me. So take it right up to halfway. So sounding a little bit more like an old organ, with more of the detune, and then we'll whack it right up and hear what it sounds like. And then like a really old organ there with a sort of almost knackered Leslie speaker, that sounds like to me. So a really nice chimey sound actually from setting 1. I would generally use that on without much of the detune on there, and use it on clean sounds. So just a bit more playing on that. So yeah, just to me it sounds like a nice classic sound, a really 60s sound, if that's possible from such a sort of new age, newfangled pedal. Let's go on to setting 2, which to me is really where it sounds like a rock and roll organ. So here we go, turn the detune down a bit. And now I'm going to get a little bit of distortion on that sound. So for me, that effect sounds better on single notes, but you can get some good swell sounds with chords. It kind of, well, if you just play a chord like this, it sounds nice, but for me, not as cool as if you do this. And there's that oh so famous chord sequence. But I reckon, you know, if you had a bit of reverb on that, a bit of delay, then that would sound actually pretty beautiful. Get some nice soundscapes out of it. But for me, my favorite setting is setting 3. So this is what adds the sub octave. And if you just have kind of a light bit of distortion, about the mix on halfway balance between the you know, the effect and your direct signal, you can get sort of Pink Floyd synth sound from the beginning of Time, which is just a wicked sound. So yeah, I think that's such a cool sound, really usable as well, I think, in riffs. So and then on chords, I'm going to add in a little bit more distortion, but this is what it can sound like. Right, there's two main things you can do with it, two main sounds you can get. You can either turn the detune up and you get more of a wet kind of synthy sound, or you can turn it down, and for me you get more of a classic sound. I know it's not really, you know, having harmonic overtones isn't really a classic sound, but it reminds me of bands like Wolfmother. I've had harmonic generator into modulator, which I think is by Black Rebel Motorcycle Club or the Datsuns, I can't remember which. I've had that in my head playing around with it, mainly because that's what it is. It's a harmonic generator, and the modulator because it does modulate your sound slightly as well. But it is, for me, it's symbolic of that sort of whole genre of rock music, I guess, like kind of leather-clad, playing cool riffs that might not sound as great if you didn't have the effect on. And that's the other thing about the pedal. It does inspire you to play riffs that if you took the effect off probably wouldn't sound as great and might not make the cut. But this is what these kind of pedals are useful for, is inspiring you to come up with things that you might not have done otherwise. So it's a small compact pedal from Boss. It's probably not going to cost loads of money. This is a prototype, so you know, I don't know what the retail price will be, but I imagine it will be reasonable. For me, yeah, it's a really good pedal. I would recommend it. It's my favourite out of the 3 new pedals that they've done, but the 3 new pedals they've done sound really great together as well. So definitely worth checking out if you're into this kind of thing. For me, this is the rock and roll pedal out of the 3. This is the one that I would definitely get the most use out of in my rig. Right, so thanks for watching. I'm just going to play you out, mainly because it's fun to play this pedal. So there we go.